No one screamed. No one called for help. No one even managed to get out of bed. On the morning of March 6, 1994, in Yunnan province, in a small Chinese village called Sangai, not a single dog barked, not a rooster crowed, not a single person stepped outside. When residents of a neighboring settlement noticed something was wrong, they sent a messenger to check if everything was all right. The messenger returned pale. He couldn't speak for several minutes, and then he said only one thing: everyone there was dead. The village of Sangai had existed for over 200 years. 410 people, families, elders, children, infants. They lived in the mountains, kept livestock, grew rice, and had almost no contact with the outside world. An ordinary village, an ordinary evening, and in the morning, no one alive. The first people to enter described a scene that would haunt them for years. People lay where death had caught them, some in bed, some at the table, with unfinished meals in front of them, some on the doorstep, as if they were about to step outside and fell right in the doorway. No signs of struggle, no cries recorded by neighbors, no one who managed to escape. Chinese authorities arrived quickly. They cordoned off the village, closed the roads. Anyone trying to approach without permission was turned away. Officials spoke sparingly. An investigation is underway. The cause is being determined. No need to panic. Within days, access to the village was completely blocked. The bodies were removed. The houses sealed. Sangai ceased to exist, not on maps, but in reality. The official version, announced a few weeks later, was brief: carbon monoxide poisoning. Allegedly, villagers used stoves for heating, and due to poor ventilation, gas filled the houses. This explanation was accepted. The case was closed, but questions remained. Carbon monoxide kills, true, but it kills slowly. First, a headache, nausea, weakness. A person feels unwell. They can step outside. They can open a window. In the village, 410 people. Even assuming they all used stoves at the same time, why did no one leave? Why didn't the children run out? Why didn't those in houses with windows facing outside survive? Why were the animals in the yards, according to reports, also found dead? Carbon monoxide doesn't kill dogs tied outside. It doesn't kill livestock in open pens. But in Sangai, everything was dead. Independent journalists tried to access the area. Some reached nearby villages and spoke with farmers who saw columns of military vehicles. They all said the same thing. The soldiers wore protective suits, not regular uniforms, but suits used when working with chemical or biological hazards. Officially, there was no contamination. Officially, it was just carbon monoxide. One low-ranking local official, wishing to remain anonymous, told a Hong Kong journalist something that was later widely quoted. There was no smell of smoke. There was no smell at all. Carbon monoxide from burning stoves always leaves an odor. Soot, burn marks, smoke, always traces. In Sangai, according to him, everything was spotless. What exactly happened that night is unknown. There are several theories, none of which answer all the questions. The first is natural. Yunnan province lies on tectonic fault lines. Occasionally, natural gases, mainly carbon dioxide and hydrogen sulfide, escape from underground. This phenomenon is called a limnological disaster, and it is real. In 1986, Lake Nyos in Cameroon released a cloud of carbon dioxide that killed almost 2,000 people and all living things within several kilometers. People died instantly, painlessly, simply losing consciousness. Animals too. No signs of struggle. This explains much, but not the village's closure, not the protective suits, not the silence that has lasted more than 30 years. The second theory is man-made. In the 1990s, mineral extraction was developing in Yunnan. Some researchers suggest that an explosion or accident at a facility released a toxic substance, possibly military or industrial, possibly something not meant to be discussed openly. The third theory, favored by conspiracy theorists, is a weapons test. China was actively developing military technology at that time. Yunnan, a mountainous remote province, far from the center. The perfect place to test something where no unwanted eyes could see. This theory sounds extreme, yet it explains everything at once. The speed of the village's closure, the protective suits, the secrecy that persists to this day. Because, and this is crucial, no official documents about the Sangai tragedy are publicly available. No investigation reports, no medical conclusions, no lists of the dead, not a single official photograph from the scene. Chinese state archives do not respond to inquiries. Provincial authorities deny the very existence of a village by that name. Sangai disappeared twice. First, its people, then the village itself. The few witnesses who spoke to journalists in the early days later recanted. Some claimed they had confused details. Some said they saw nothing. One died 2 years later, under unexplained circumstances. Coincidence? Maybe. Today, in 2026, this story still has no confirmed version. It's not in textbooks. It's not discussed officially. It exists only in retellings, in independent journalists' archives, in the memories of those who were nearby and afraid to speak aloud. 410 people died in one night, and the world pretended it never happened. Subscribe to the channel if you want more stories like this.